Friends, I have a confession to make to you. I have a superpower, or as my Twitch audience calls it, a stand. This stand, time after time, gives me the ability to accidentally predict things that no one else would predict. I streamed Spider-Man PS4 for the first time ever a year after it came out, and during the stream, the Marvel-Sony Spider-Man deal falls through. I say Terry Bogard and Tekken should be in Smash, and... yes! Heihachi Mishima in Smash! Kazuya Mishima! Yes! Yes! Let's go! And I mentioned Digimon who haven't been seen in years in my videos, and spoilers for Digimon Adventure 2020 look away now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, Burpmon and Digimon World 1 Golemon show up out of nowhere. So, with Digimon Adventure 2020 coming to a close and Digimon Ghost Game on the horizon, I wanted to attempt to sandbag time after time by listing my top 10 Digimon who, as of September 2021, have yet to appear in any Digimon anime. Prove me wrong, Bandai. Prove me wrong. What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. Thank you for being the absolute legends that like and subscribe. Not like those people who don't like and subscribe. I hear they don't wash their butts in the shower. Uh-oh, stinky. And yeah, today we're going to be looking at 10 Digimon with absolutely zero anime appearances, and do be warned. This video will have very minor spoilers for most of the anime seasons, and in particular towards the end, heavy spoilers for Digimon Adventure 2020. I'm also not going to be talking about Digimon who have been very recently created or released, as in like the last 18 months, just because it's a guaranteed way to be proven wrong because they're so fresh that there's still time for them to get added to the anime. But that said, without further ado, let's get to number 10. Yeah, number 10 is Footmon. I don't know if it's some latent British love of football or soccer for Americans, or because I've been watching a lot of Ted Lasso recently, but I still think we need some justice for Footmon. He was first off designed by a kid, a fan of Digimon, in an official contest, so that must suck for that kid that his design won and then was just never used. But then also a ton of Digimon characters, including Tai, Sora, and Davis, have been shown to love playing football. There was even a football episode of Digimon Adventure 2020 he could have showed up in. Justice for Footmon. Next up is Commandramon, and honestly, I'm just fully baffled he's never shown up in the anime. It can't be a gun issue because first of all, Japan cares way less, but also Digimon like Deputymon have shown up in the anime, and more importantly, Commandramon's evolutions and other members of the D Brigade. D Brigade. Nice.
You are a little kid.
Like Sealsdramon, who showed up in Cross Wars, and Tankdramon, who was in Digimon Adventure 2020. Obviously, I think Commandramon would be a fantastic partner for a Digimon protagonist as is, but him looking like a military Agumon or Guilmon means I think he is long overdue a proper anime appearance. Are you guys tired of me talking about Hyokomon yet?
Put it in the goddamn anime, Bandai!
If you haven't heard me wax poetic about Hyokomon before, it is a Digimon with basically a full line from Chichimon to Hyokomon to Baraimon to Butenmon, and finally potentially Chronomon Holy Mode. It is this phenomenal line of samurai birds which I think could have so many uses, from a partner for Sora or Yoli, to a brand new partner for a new Digidestined, or even just an ally character like Leomon, Spartamon, and Peckmon in the current season of the anime. But so far it's had 2 appearances, exclusive to video games Digimon Story Lost Evolution and Digimon Story Super Cross Wars Blue and Red. Well, I guess technically 3 games if you count the version differences as 2 separate games. I just know someone's waiting to actually me on that one. It doesn't even have manga or VPET appearances. Not even Rear Eyes. Get him in the anime or I'll write to the president. While I'm not a huge fan of the entire Herismon line, I do really love Herismon himself. And I've said for a while now that Digimon Rearise's plot would make for a fantastic season of the anime. Its plot is simple, but by season 2 is really going places, and I think it's a shame Herismon and the whole cast of Rearise have had few chances to shine outside of the mobile game. Thankfully, Herismon has had VPET appearances and features in BT7 of the Digimon card game, so he's at least getting more rep than others further up this list, but still, not even a cameo in Digimon Adventure 2020. As of time of recording, time after time could activate at any moment, terms and conditions apply. Just makes me want to see him in the anime even more. Maybe Ghost Game will give him his day in the sun? Number 6 is Agiomon, a godman Digimon from the digital world known as Iliad on the host computer Homeros. Yes, he's Greek myth based if you couldn't work it out already, that I've known about for a long time but never really given a spotlight on this channel, mainly because other Digimon kept knocking him out of my top 10s. But now that a lot of other Digimon have had time to shine, I really want to focus on him. He is the protagonist of Digimon Crusaders and, spoilers, was originally Jupitermon of the Olympos 12. I find it really fascinating that Agiomon is a champion level with color-coded evolutions to Ultimate, those being Agiocusmon Blue, Dark, Green, and Holy, which admittedly isn't a color, but shut up! This color-based Evo, each providing a different attribute and set of attacks, I think would make for a really interesting anime character. As a champion level, I don't know if he's a good fit for a protagonist partner Digimon, but I was thinking maybe something along the lines of a companion. Maybe initially the protagonist thinks that Agiosmon is a human, maybe a friend from school, and then it is revealed that he's a Digimon. Yes, it's a little bit Percy Jackson, but let me have this one.
Do not let that go viral.
I think there's a lot of potential there. Aside from anime, Agiomon has also not had any manga, VPET, or TCG appearances, and only appeared in Digimon Crusader and Soul Chaser, so I really think it's about time he was allowed to shine in his own right. Number 5 is Bluekamon, and I know most of you are probably going, oh, of course Bluekamon's on this list, and I know a lot of you are also saying, wait, he's only number 5? Yes, Bluekamon is one of my absolute favorite rookie Digimon of all time. He has one of my absolute favorite evolution lines of all time, but he has been getting a lot more love recently, since his initial debut in Digimon Encounters. He has VPET appearances, particularly a dedicated DIM for the Digimon VB, and TCG appearances like Herismon, but more so his Mega Hexablaumon is pretty popular among Blue players in the TCG right now, so I at least feel like Bluekamon and his line are more well known than they've ever been, certainly more than they were at the start of 2021. However, that doesn't change the fact that I would adore to see him in the anime, specifically as a partner for a protagonist. I somehow talked Fanbeamon into existence. Yes, I am taking credit for that despite literally having no sway over the creative process of any Digimon media, so I'm speaking Bluekamon into an anime appearance as well, dagnammit! In at number 4 is one of those combined listings I love to do, and that is the trio of Agumon Expert, Fake Agumon Expert, and Terriermon Assistant. I'm absolutely in love with these three, and the current TCG has only made me love them more. Luckily, they do get brought out for video games and VPETs as well as websites, so admittedly Terriermon Assistant did debut more recently in 2018, but that's still long enough, I think, for him to have shown up. While I understand not wanting to cause confusion with an Agumon variant in 2020, I do think something like the Digimon Encyclopedia at the end of each episode would be a great opportunity to introduce these Digimon. I picture Agumon Expert informing us on the good Digimon, maybe fake Agumon Expert informing us on the bad Digimon, and maybe telling lies to lure us into a false sense of security, and I guess lure the protagonist into a false sense of security, and then maybe Terriermon Assistant is running back and forth, maybe adding information to Agumon Expert or saying things that Agumon Expert forgot to say about the Digimon, and then like debunking the lies of fake Agumon Expert about the villainous Digimon. That really fits into his kind of like panicked field researcher role and would give a really good opportunity to include all three of them. I can also see all three of them being in continuity characters that tell the kids about the data and the science of the digital world, and fake Agumon Expert maybe provides them with fake information. I don't know. Just a fun idea I had, and I think a great way to introduce these characters into the anime for the first time ever. And another group, or in this case a duo, that I think are long overdue some respect are Victory Greymon and Zeed Garurumon. They luckily do have manga appearances in Digimon Next, as well as in video games, card games, and VPET appearances. They actually debuted in the Digimon Twin, one of my absolute favourite VPETs that was Japan exclusive. They look a lot like Joy-Cons, I've talked about them in other videos. There was a left and right version for each twin, hence you getting Victory Greymon and Zeed Garurumon. And yet, zero anime appearances. I was more forgiving of this when typically partners would get one evolution line and typically it was crafted, but here come the mild Digimon Adventure 2020 spoilers. We've had Blitz Greymon and Crest Garurumon in addition to War Greymon and Metal Garurumon. Now, Victory and Zeed are definitely not as unique as Blitz and Crest, but I still think this potentially 67 episode season there was room to include Victory and Zeed. Even if there were more like slide forms for War Greymon and Metal Garurumon similar to to the Alterus and Sagittarius mode for Metal Greymon and Weregarurumon. I don't know, Victory Greymon in particular I'm very fond of, and I've talked about before how I wish we had some kind of Omnimon equivalent for Victory Greymon and Zeedgarurumon. A wonderful artist in my community, Morally Gary, did give a shot at this that I really like, dubbing it Omnimon Alter Z. You can check out the tweet and go follow Morally Gary in the description down below. Perhaps just a pipe dream, but I do think a huge missed opportunity to not at least show them in Digimon Adventure 2020, even if they didn't want to explore them further. And while we're including groups on the list, let's talk about our penultimate pick, Raijinmon, Fujinmon, Suijinmon, and their Jogress form, Raidenmon. These are some fascinating Digimon with some truly amazing lore. And incredibly, Raijinmon and Raidenmon were only added to the Digimon reference book this month, September 2021, despite Suijinmon and Fujinmon having listings for like the past 6 or 7 years. What went on there? What happened? According to the reference book, Suijinmon, whose name comes from Suijin, the Shinto god of water, contains parts of both Justimon and Machindramon, namely Machindramon's cannon and 2 of Justimon's axle arms. Raijinmon, named after Raijin, the Shinto god of thunder, possesses 2 of Justimon's blitz arms, and Fujinmon, named after, you guessed it, Fujin, the Shinto god of wind, has 2 of Justimon's critical arms. It hasn't been made clear fully the connection between Justimon and these Digimon. Justimon has been shown to digivolve into at least one of them inside media, but there's no firm connection. But it does seem to be that Justimon is the original owner of the Blitz, Axel, and Critical arms, and these robots just have 2 copies each. In addition to this Justimon connection, all 3 of the god robots can Jogress together to become Raidenmon. Raidenmon is a little bit of a downgrade in terms of design, at least to me, just being a big tank dude, but I still love him. And again, no anime appearances for any of these guys, which I think is a tremendous shame. I see 2 potential situations for how they could be integrated into the anime here. One of those is like the Poi brothers from Digimon Adventure 02, who each had an Octomon, maybe a trio of siblings who have a Raijinmon, Suijinmon, and Fujinmon each respectively, and then Jogress to Raidenmon, or perhaps more interestingly, a trio of characters in a new anime season who aren't related, who are all just kind of like, you know, Tai, Matt, Sora, who each have a rookie that can eventually become Raijinmon, Fujinmon, and Suijinmon, and their final form, rather than being like an Omnimon, is a Jogress Raidenmon. I probably talk too much about these guys for right now, but they're just so cool to me, so I want more people to love them, to give them more of a chance of getting more representation in the franchise, and hopefully a shot at an anime appearance one day. Okay, finally is a bone of contention. My number 1 slot is Arcadimon. This is the big spoilers for Digimon Adventure 2020, so you might want to skip to the end or just close the video now, but regardless, Adventure 2020 spoilers in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, the final villain of Digimon Adventure 2020 is a Digimon called Negamon. I'm saying that very carefully because, oh boy, that has got such potential to go wrong. This Digimon is some sort of looming, ever-growing threat that initially has some sort of creepy small form with Argomon as its minions. We also had a plotline for Zeed Millenniummon which showed Sephirothmon absorbing Digimon for power, and I've had tons of throwbacks to past Digimon and seasons in this season. So I really think that Arcadimon should have been the big bad for this season. Don't get me wrong, a brand new threat is really cool, and we're still learning about this new threat. Obviously, as of time of recording, we're only up to like episode 64, but I really think V-Tamer already set up a perfect villain that gets stronger the more it fights and absorbs other Digimon with Arcadimon. I think it could even be set up to be Zeed Millenniummon reborn to make that whole arc feel less weirdly isolated. It's also incredible to me that we have never seen Arcadimon in any anime. And sure, it's a very V-Tamer-centric monster, but only because it's in V-Tamer. We've even had Neo Devimon show up in this season. Do you know why he's called Neo Devimon? Because he was made by the character called Neo from Digimon V-Tamer. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but we have this huge villain Digimon who was such a huge part of the V-Tamer manga. It's always been a shame to me that we've never properly seen it revisited, especially in animated form. So, I guess bring Arcadimon back for Ghost Game is what I'm saying? Alright everybody, that is the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below, as always, which Digimon would you like to see in the anime? There are so many Digimon, and I'm talking about Digimon who've never had any appearances in the anime. If you want to talk about a Digimon who has had an appearance, go for it. I don't care that much. But do let me know. I always like seeing your thoughts and comments on these things, especially when people bring up Digimon that I hadn't even thought of yet. So always super excited to listen to you guys sound off in the comments down below. Also, something really cool that I want to announce is that starting in October, it's come Spooktober Spectacular 2! Some nice friends you got there, YouTube. That's right, Spooktober Spectacular is back. There will be 4 spooky/Halloweeny videos coming out throughout October, as well as all my Digimon Ghost Game, Digivice V coverage, a bunch more stuff, but it's going to be the month of scares, viewer bewares. Anyway, that's all I've got to talk about today, guys. The next video will be our last of September before the Spooktober Spectacular begins, so thank you for all the love during September. And let's thank some channel members. The Sovereigns! Boom! Thank you so much to Andrew Sobel and Night 12, my phenomenal sovereigns. You guys becoming sovereigns really turned the tide on a terrible month into something awesome, so thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I'm going to hit you up for a second message for this month for the next video, but thank you guys so much for all your support. It means the absolute world. It is a crazy amount of money. And it genuinely, during a week that was terrible for me, really cheered me up. So thank you so much to the Sovereigns. You guys are anointed. Thank you so much. And the Digi-Destined, Anthony Bontomasi, Reese Williams, Sad Uncle Callum, and Crimson Dragon Slayer. Thank you so much, Digi-Destined. You guys are amazing. And the funky little tamers, the Blessed Rain, Errant Harpy, Emily, Mike McNulty, and Theo Navarro. Thank you, tamers. And to everyone in the Khan Club, thank you for supporting the channel with your hard-earned money. I hope you're enjoying these early access videos. I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.